probably like 30 degrees in here, but get some training in. Just vlogging. I think I'm gonna do a lot more vlogs and have fun and just train. And those of you that want to watch, cool. Those of you that don't want to watch, that's fine too. Just putting out content that I enjoy and just get to talk to you guys while we get after it. So let's get to it. First off, here's the heater. Yeah, this little baby does absolutely nothing. But then we also got new lights. Let's just help with aesthetics, and when it's really dark during the wintertime, it just helps, you know, get you going with some brighter lights. Especially when it was dark at like 4 o'clock, that sucked. This is the first year that daylight savings really affected me mentally and trying to train at night. So artificial lighting will do the trick.
Not great things.
What the heck?
Deficit axle bar deadlifts.
For you, I'm just probably gonna do regular deficit.
Yeah. Barbell push press, incline chest press, and pull-ups.
I couldn't hear you.
Barbell push press. And then dumbbell incline chest press, and then pull-ups.
Why are you yelling at me?
Because
Jordan signed up for a strongman competition in April. It's freaking awesome. I don't really have any competitions. I'm just trying to compete in life. It's a hard world out there. We got Jordan over here using an axle bar. This is a 2-inch axle. I'm just gnarly on the grip, and then the deficit makes it even worse. I'm using regular deadlift bar, but 2-inch deficit on the mat. I don't know when the last time you guys saw this, but we got kind of an updated bells of steel rack here. We got our seal row pad. We got the strap spotting arms that are down currently. I added the straps for hanging leg raises. We got this cool multi-grip bar. We have a Bulgarian split squat attachment, little barbell holder down here. That's coming along very nicely. Oh yeah, freaking, we got 2 SSB bars. One was a Christmas present from Jordan, and then Bells of Steel actually sent me one, so I now have 2. One for her, one for me, and they come with all these different handles. So pretty economical. The only thing that is weird is they're 45 pounds when I'm used to a heavier SSB bar, but definitely love them. I've been really excited to use them. So I'm working up, doing sets of 5 with the deadlift. I don't really know where I'll end up. Pretty fatigued. It's Friday, so it's one of the later end week training sessions. So we train Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, sometimes Sunday. And then I've been doing BJJ about 3 days a week. So a lot of it's just figuring out, regulating the intensity in my training so I'm not too banged up right now. But feeling pretty good overall. I'm just mainly concerned with always getting as strong as I can, but on top of that, performance. So being big, moving athletically and explosively while still trying to be a brick shit house. And things are working pretty good right now. We also have the Arnold coming up, which will be end of February, beginning of March. I'll be there with Grip Genie booth, Juji, and we'll be bouncing around, hanging out. So if you guys are gonna come to the Arnold, make sure you stop by and say hi. But I'm currently kind of getting leaner right now. I'm about 259 this morning. Heaviest I was around 270 from a massing phase. And just from the extra activity level, decreasing my calories a little bit on days that I don't need those calories. We're leaning down. So feeling pretty good. So it's been going good. So let's just keep smashing some deadlifts.
color coordinated today.
Yeah, thanks. Looking pretty freaking lovely. I rarely bring these out on any special occasions. So it's snowing, that's one. Hasn't snowed here in about 2 years. 2, Judas is on the radio. Probably losing monetization as we speak. It's worth it. And 3, oh shit. Special occasion. Special occasion. Oh, got one. Just hit 455. It's probably like a RP 6. Definitely feeling the fatigue from the week. But the reason I like doing deficits, and I typically only go between 2 to 4 inches on the deficit. Some people out there are doing like crazy deficits. Some people deem it ego lifting. I think it's fun to watch. It's pretty cool. And I've tried stuff like that. But in terms of trying to increase your deadlift, if that's your goal, I think 2 to 4 inches is plenty. And really it's just putting us in a bad position so that we can get stronger in a bad position. And then once we go back to a regular pull, we can be a lot stronger and kind of get through those sticky points. So if you're somebody who's weak off the floor, or even just wanting to get stronger in that bottom portion, I like doing deficits. Another good one's gonna be pause. And then kind of like Jordan's doing, she's using an axle bar or a stiffer bar, which not only taxes the grip, but there's no whip in it because it's just a stiff bar. So that's why we're doing deficits. That's why I throw in my program. Right now, pulling twice a week, kind of using a similar strongman template that I've run in the past, but then throwing in a little bit more volume in certain exercises that I want to increase personally, and also adding a little bit more explosiveness, athleticism style stuff to help translate over to BJJ. So I can get strong, but also, like I said, kind of be able to be athletic on the mats. So I'll hit 475 for a set of 5. We'll see how that goes. And then that'll kind of gauge the rest of the sets. But like I said, feeling a little bit fatigued, but it is what it is, right? We want to be able to push and accumulate that fatigue so we're able to get the adaptation of strength. If we're not pushing when we should be, we're not going to be making as many gains. And we're all here, right, in Garage de la Swole, or cold. Garage de la Cold today to get freaking juicy, voluptuous muscles and strength gains. So let's see how 475 goes. Deficit deadlifts are done. I did 5 at 6, 5 at 7, 5 at 8, 5 at 9, then a back off back at 7. Probably could have pushed heavier, but I'm just doing it slowly, okay? One of my issues in the past is mentally, I'm good to go and I'm fired up and I want to push heavy. And I think my muscles can handle the weight, but I'm more worried about ligaments and tendons with my past history that you guys know about. So being very smart about it, it's worth it to take the time to get back to where you were rather than rushing into it and getting injured again. Getting injured sucks. It's a whole process mentally and physically. So I don't want to do that, but felt pretty good. Stopped at 515 on the deadlifts, then in my back offs at 475. So now we're moving on to barbell push press. So this is the second overhead pressing variation of this week. I really like this because I've always enjoyed a more dynamic press, whether it's a push jerk, a split jerk, or a push press. So it allows me to utilize the legs more, really help power through my sticky points, and be a little bit more explosive. So with these, to be honest with you, last week I did 315 for my set of 5. Shoulders are feeling pretty beat up. So if you guys do jiu-jitsu, we did a lot of Colmar work this week, and let me tell you, your rotator cuff and just your forearms are just smoked, so I can feel it on these. But the biggest thing is staying true to the RPE. So in my head, yeah, it'd be great if I could go above 315 or 315 for my top set, but realistically, maybe 275 is my 5 at 9 today. And it's important that we stick to the program and the RPE rather than trying to always have pretty much like a linear progression, adding 5 pounds every single week, which usually works for beginners, but as you become more of an intermediate advanced lifter, it's more just about stress management and hitting the appropriate stress and getting the recovery we need when we need to do it. So I'll see exactly how it goes today, but today what I'm really focusing on is just keeping a good bar path, really trying to utilize that snappy dip and drive, getting my chin out of the way so it's a straight path up and down, and not missing the timing of the dip. So that's what we got. I'm actually strapped up. I got my elbow sleeves on. I really like these just for a little bit of warmth. It's cold in here, so it's keeping my elbows lubricated and warm. Gives me a little bit of a pop, but nothing crazy. And then I got these Bear Complex. Everybody asks me about these knee sleeves. These really do nothing. It's more of a placebo effect, just that I have knee sleeves on. Maybe provide like a little bit of warmth, but I have them on. And then of course my weightlifting shoes. I've had these shoes for about 8 or 9 years. Obviously you can see the wear and tear on them, but these are my babies. It's kind of like superstition where if I were to switch shoes, I probably would just be mentally screwed up. So I ride and die with these bad boys. But the reason I like weightlifting shoes is it's going to add a nice base of support. We have a really strong heel with weightlifting shoes, but it's also loose in the toe box. So I'm able to get on my toes for any sort of push jerk, push press, variation. And like I said, but then when I come back down, my heel's nice and supported rather than wearing something else where you have like a loose ankle support or just support around the outside of the foot where you potentially could lose your balance or maybe roll an ankle or something like that, which would be awful. And I hope that doesn't happen to you. But I was just telling Jordan, because she said, well, should I put on my lifters? And I said, you got a competition, so you want to practice how you play. And obviously being a coach for high school sports, I said, that's like me telling my kids to go on the turf with their shoes on rather than their cleats, right? They wouldn't do that in a game. So I want you to get dialed in with exactly what you're going to be using in competition. So you're just getting those reps way ahead of time. You know exactly how it's going to feel. You know how to balance yourself, and you're ready to go. So we'll start working through some sets here. Not going to be anything crazy, not take as long as the deadlift. And then for my accessories, I'll probably just do like supersets or a giant set, just to kind of save some time and get through that. But overall, feeling pretty good. Excited to be consistently training and just seeing numbers steadily go up. And yeah, it's good. It's good. So let's get to it. All right, so push presses went kind of as suspected. Top set worked up to 295 for a set of 4. The last one got out in front of me, and that's due to my grip on the bar. So I don't really have a ton of great front rack mobility, where if you watch Jordan when she presses, she can get that bar all the way in her fingertips. And I think there's pros and cons to each. With my grip, I do have a little bit more control, but at the same time, that bar is gonna be slightly out in front. So if I push it, like I said, like an inch or 2 in front of me, it's gonna be a lot heavier, and that's why I missed that 5th rep. But over time, you know, I feel like I'll be able to continually push that higher. And like I said, last week it was 315, this week 295. Shoulders were really fatigued from all the jiu-jitsu. It is what it is. But I went 225, 255, 275, 295. And then my back off was supposed to be 255, but I went down to 225 just to get some really good quality technical reps. So that's pretty much how the push press went. So the way I'm pressing right now is I have day 1 is a strict press. Then we have this day, which is gonna be a push press. And then tomorrow we're doing a pin press. So pressing frequency is gonna be 3 to 4 times per week. And with this programming style, like I said, it's gonna be more like a strength or strongman block. If you guys have tried my programs that are available on the website or the app, you kind of know how I structure it. So we're just spreading out that volume throughout the week rather than having like a single day with a ton of overhead volume. We're able to hit it more frequently throughout the week. And for me, that's worked really well. And a lot of the people that have tried the programs, but everybody has their own way of doing it, how it works for them. But like I said, this works best for me, so that's what we're rolling with. So after this, we're gonna go and do 2 accessories. So I'm gonna do incline dumbbell chest press, and then I'm also gonna do some lat pull downs. And that'll pretty much be it for the day, because we still have a session tomorrow and then something on Sunday. And I don't want to do too many accessories that are kind of just turning into junk volume per se. So we're sticking to 4 to 5 movements per session right now, and I'll kind of add in little fluff things as I regulate myself throughout the week on how my body's feeling. Okay, so wrapping this session up, we got the incline dumbbell bench press. I just did 85s. I actually got new 85s for Christmas, so I'm super excited about that. Shout out Aunt Bridget for getting me the 85s. But just did sets of 12. I haven't really talked about it, I don't think, on the internet, but I have a pec tear, and I'm going the conservative route without surgical intervention with it. So I'm just being very cautious. This happened back, I want to say, in October. It happened actually just before I had went to Swiss. I think it was a couple weeks before Swiss. So it was a freak thing. I was working up and I was just doing sets at 315 for 8 to 10 reps. And honestly, did not even think in my brain that anything was going to happen. On the 3rd rep with 315, as I was getting towards the end of the rep, I just felt kind of like a pop right in my pec. Was able to rack it safely, which was awesome. And then I just kind of felt some pain, had minor swelling, but it wasn't like a full-blown pec tear like you see. So I got it checked out by the orthopedic, did the MRI, that whole deal. And they said based on what they saw, we would be able to take a more conservative approach with it. So things are feeling pretty good. Since that injury, week by week, it's gotten better and better. but I'm still a little bit cautious with it. So my reps are gonna be nice and controlled on the way down and on the way up, and there hasn't been any pain. So I'm gradually gonna push that weight little by little, but still stay on the more conservative side. And then for me, I just superset. So we have, right, a chest exercise, and then I'm gonna superset it with a lat pull down. They're supposed to be pull-ups, but man, I'm like banged up, dude. Every time I'm like, it should be a pull-up, but it's a lat pull down. It's just because for some reason I have a little bit of a lat strain. That, nothing serious, but that's just from jujitsu. If you guys are in jujitsu, a lot of underhooks, like when we're doing like standing stuff or even on the ground, just being explosive with the underhook. Once again, I don't think that my tendons and muscles have been used to that explosive movement as much. So I'm just trying to gradually get into it. And with pull-ups kind of at the bottom, I can feel a little bit of a strain. And when I'm doing lat pull downs, I'm able to control the weight a lot more and just the tempo of the rep rather than doing a pull-up with a fixed body weight, which, you know, is a little bit heavier. So doing these, I did 3 sets of 12 reps. There's about 145 pounds on the lat pull down. I absolutely love this lat pull down. I talk about it all the time in all my videos. Got it at a CrossFit box. It was like $100. Maybe it was even $75. I don't know. This guy did not know the value of this lat pull down, and I had it for like 8 years. So went through the whole gym. Now it's in here. I don't think I'll ever get rid of this. And if it breaks, I will fix her. I will fix her because I love her. But yeah, did this. Once again, I'll incrementally work up in the weight. But I'm in it for the long haul, guys, right? Like, I want to make sure I'm doing things right. I want to make sure I'm healthy throughout this whole process. And I've been really enjoying it. So crush these. Like I said, that'll probably be it for today. I'm actually gonna grab a protein shake real quick, and then I wanna have some life talk, like some real hardcore life talk. Like,
when you listen to this wisdom that I'm about to bestow, you probably are going to have the biggest epiphany of your life. You're gonna run outside, probably do some snow angels if it's snowing. If not, do them anyway in your bare concrete driveway. People think you're nuts, and you just say, no, I just got a life epiphany from Szatstrength. Let me do my thing. You don't understand. You don't understand where I'm at right now. So
I'm gonna get that protein shake. I'll be right back.
What you got in that mug?
Protein powder,
From who?
not HG muscle. Because I'm gonna shoot straight. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a liar. Like I won't lie. So it's actually Rise Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I believe. Is that what you got?
Yep.
Yeah, Walmart. Shout out Walmart. Walmart's like stepping it up big time. But anyway, HD's still good. So if you want to buy HD, cool. I don't really care that much. It's all kind of the same stuff at the end of the day. But while we're talking. So yeah, I just wanted to get on here, guys, and kind of just have, I don't know, chit chat with you. And as you guys know, I've been on and off of YouTube, right? I go through these phases where I crush it. You know, I'd probably say the last couple of years, because a couple last years have been very all over the place, highs and lows. A lot of it started, I think, with the bicep tear is when things became, you know, from riding a high, bicep tear, kind of sent me into like an identity crisis of what I want to do with my business, with my life, with my training. And I would take one route, kind of dabble in that, and then switch it up, dabble in something else. And the hard part about my personality is that I do like doing all different things, right? Like I am a poly strength athlete, but even outside of that, I like different things. I have a lot of different hobbies, and it's a blessing and a curse because you can get pretty good at a lot of things, but it's really hard for me to get super, you know, pinpoint expert level at one thing because I like dabbling in other things. I would say I'm definitely more an expert in like strength stuff, but that's also a broader realm than specifically. Hopefully you guys are following this. But what I wanted to get out here and talk about is I want to put out videos that I just like filming and enjoy creating content and sharing my stuff. And that's really why I started this. You know, I started this channel over 10 years ago. I think it was, so I'll be 31 in a couple weeks. And I started, I think, when I was 20 or 21. So yeah, about 10 years I've been creating videos. And I never, in the back of my mind, had this idea that it was going to grow to where it was going to grow. And to me, I looked at it as just like a photo album, right? Where I could take videos of my training, reflect, or if I have kids or a family, you know, be able to show them this stuff that's been recorded. And that was kind of my intention. On top of that, it was always helping people. You know, I grew up watching Zach Evanesh, who I'm friends with, you know, and Elliot Holst at that time was really popular. And I thought it was super cool what they were doing because they were just talking to you. They were having casual conversation, and there was a lot of value in it at the time, I thought. So I wanted to start doing that myself and not come at it as like this all-knowing person, but kind of like, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is working for me, this is what I read, or this is what so-and-so told me, try it out, you know, because that's all I'm doing, I'm trying it out. And I'm still young enough where I don't claim to be an expert, you know, I'm not a guru with other things, I'm just figuring it out, I'm experimenting. You know, once I get to like Dave Tate level, you know, I'm sure he's always growing and learning as well, even where he's at, but he's more at that like top tier level, like those guys. And I'm still a student of the game. So what I want to start doing is just putting out training content because I really enjoy that. When it comes down, if someone's like, hey, what do you like doing? I like answering questions that people ask me, and I like training and filming my training. But what happens is I get paralysis by analysis of, you know, well, how should we film this video? Should it be a vlog? Should it be a how-to series? What should the title be? What should the thumbnail be? You know, what about the music? And then all these thoughts are getting inside of my head, and then I just give up and I don't want to record videos. And oftentimes I really just enjoy training, but then in the back of my mind, I was like, man, I feel like some of this would benefit people. So that's kind of what I want to do. I just want to put out content. I don't want to care about the views or look at the views. And to be honest with you, some of the biggest channels haven't really grown. And the ones that do grow at some point are going to stop growing, right? Because everything's trends. And people hit that trend, they ride that wave, and then they kind of flatline. Just the way it works. But I'm in it for the long haul, and I'm trying to figure out the system that works best for me to be around for the long haul. And what it really comes down to for me is just simplicity and putting out the content I want to put out, and also connecting with the people that want to watch that content, right? I get caught up when I do this stuff that I feel like I'm trying to like get people in, and instead I just want people to come who want to come, if that makes sense. So if you guys have been longtime followers and supported the channel, I freaking love you guys. You guys are like ride or dies, and I'd rather have 100 ride or dies than, you know, a million ride or dies, because those are the people that want to be here. And I'm not offended if you don't want to be here, right? Like I was talking to my buddy the other day, everybody has said or says the same stuff, right? So you get caught up with like, in my brain of, well, I already made a video about this, or I've already talked about this, or so-and-so's already talked about this. There's a million videos on this topic. But really what it comes down to is who you connect with and who you like. Really, like the stuff that I watch is are the people that I like just because of who they are. And those are the people that I want to watch my videos. And like I said, I'm not offended if you don't, right? Like find somebody else that is putting out the quality content or something that's bringing you value or you feel like is leveling you up. That's all I can ask for. Anyway, I was kind of rambling on there. But we're going to be putting out a lot of vlogs. Okay, we're just going to be putting out training content. I like it to feel like you guys are here with me. Sometimes I do how-tos, they're okay, but I like it more of a natural kind of, you can listen to it when you're walking on the treadmill. You feel like you're kind of right there with me. So those are the kind of videos we're going to be putting out. I got my buddy Charles, who you've seen in some of the other videos in the past. We're going to start doing some live streams with the training crew here. So usually Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we have a couple people in here, and we want to live stream those workouts where you guys are hearing the things we're talking about, because obviously it's training, so you can see what we're doing, how we're doing it, but also talk about other stuff too, right? Or if you have a question, put it in there in between sets. We'll talk about the question. I'll give you some pointers, that type of deal. And there's also other people to give other pointers, right? Because how I do something may be a little bit different than how somebody else does something. But at the end of the day, we're all just trying to get better, right? And I'm trying to grow that community. So I'm trying to kick myself in the butt here to get myself out of my head and put out consistent training content or things that I enjoy and be around for the long haul, because I do enjoy this stuff, but really I'm just my own worst enemy. And maybe you guys can relate to that, or maybe you had a project or a goal and you want to get after it, but then you start self-doubt or you start thinking about a million things. And then it becomes too daunting when all you really have to do is just do it. Just get out there, film that video, or get that training session in, or start that meal prep, whatever it is, right? We've all been in that similar situation, and I go through it too, and I want to get back on the saddle, essentially. So lots of cool stuff, you know, in terms of content that I want to put out, but I want to make it natural, authentic, and I want to start bonding with you guys. So hold me accountable. Be polite about it, all right? I don't need any negative people or attitudes. I've already had enough of that. But yeah, let's get after it together, guys. And like I said in the beginning of the video, I'll be at the Arnold. So if you guys are planning on going to the Arnold, I'll be with Grip Genie. So come on over, hang out. I'm a normal guy. I like just meeting you guys in real life. I like whatever grip stuff or whatever lifting we're gonna be doing. That'll be a super dope time. So I'll make sure that I'm filming there, but it'd be great to meet some of you guys. And then as always, there's other ways to support the channel, whether that's the app, you know, with programming or custom programs, all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to get out some new merchandise. I've been having this like new branding idea that I want to rock and roll with, but I'm trying to get I'm trying to get all that nailed down and simplify it because, like I just said, I get paralysis by analysis. So I just want to start with something, keep it simple, roll with that, and kind of just get back to the way that it used to be. That's this whole new chapter. It's getting back to my roots and connecting with you guys. So if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, okay? If you don't, that's cool too. But like I said, I just want the people that want to be here. These are going to be longer probably format videos. Something you can probably, like I said, listen to when you're on the treadmill or at home on your computer, and we'll just shoot the stuff, you know, shoot the stuff. And that's all I got. Stay a lean, mean strength machine, and I'll catch you guys. Damn it, I haven't done that in a while. See? Stay a lean, mean strength health machine, and I'll catch up with you guys next time. Peace! Dude, first day back, I can't even talk straight. I'm not pump drunk because I don't really have a pump, so I can't blame that excuse. I'm just rusty. I'm just a rusty trombone, but that is not what I am. Definitely not what I am. Don't look that up, kids, on Urban Dictionary. Please do not do that.